E3 2019 is on the horizon, and you know what that means. Endless predictions and guesses at what the hell is going to be going on from the 8th to the 13th. E3 has always been a huge event for me. I've watched all the conferences, I streamed the panels, I've gotten way too excited about damn near anything that releases around this time. I get really hyped up about it. A bunch of companies are having their own conferences or press panels. All of the big hitters in the industry, Square Enix, Bethesda, of course Microsoft. Oddly enough, Sony and EA backed out of this one though, so it's going to be a little bit of a weird E3. So I'm not going to run through the conferences and get stuff for there. I'm just going to run through the top 10 games that I am the most excited about to see at E3 or potentially see at E3. It has not been easy. I had to rearrange my top 10 like 7 times now. Number 10, Session.
They say I'm like Bruce Willis, unbreakable, die hard, true sickness, put this mic on the tripod, but I'm not.
It has been almost a decade since we have seen an actual good skateboarding game on PC or console. I know what you're thinking to yourself is the same thing I thought when I first heard it. Skate wasn't that long ago. Skate 3 released in 2010. It's 2019. It might release in 2020, which means that it'll be a full decade between the last good skateboarding game and the new good skateboarding game. And we do not count Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That was a monstrosity. But then came Session. Session was revealed at the E3 of 2018 and slated for a late 2019 release. I don't know if that's still going to be happening or not. I think it might be getting pushed a little bit to 2020. Hopefully we see it as a summer release. Nevertheless, I am stoked for this one. I was so excited when I heard that there was a more technical, realistic skateboarding game in the works similar to Skate because I missed out on the last one, and this turned out being the announcement that I didn't know I wanted, but I really did. I really want to see Session. I know it's going to be during Microsoft or Xbox's conference, but I really want to look to see if there's a campaign attached to the game or if there's more of an open world like how Skate had, or even if there's going to be characters attached to it because we don't know anything other than the fact that it's a skateboarding game. Number 9, Animal Crossing. I know it might be a surprise that Animal Crossing is so low on my list because, I mean, for this upcoming year, I think it's going to be one of the Switch's biggest releases. The only problem is that I've never played an Animal Crossing game before. I never played New Leaf. I didn't even play the one on the GameCube. And I'm not a huge fan of sim games, so Animal Crossing will be something new to me, but I'm starting to have that interest sparked in me. I'm mostly looking forward to this one because it will be the perfect game to take use of the Switch's portability, and it'll be probably the perfect game for drop-in, drop-out gameplay on the go. Not only that, but this is probably Beth, my girlfriend's, her biggest release. It's the thing that she's the most excited for, and it'll be really fun to play that collaboratively with her. God, we're gonna get so competitive with our islands or towns or whatever it may be. I am really hoping that they have a drastically different theme to this one. I saw someone do a prediction for a vacation or island themed one, and I think that'll be really good. They need to find a way to kind of mix it up a little bit, I think. An island one would be pretty cool. Number 8, Control. I don't blame you if you haven't heard of this one or you haven't kept your eyes on it because it did get shadowed by a lot of other announcements. If I'm being honest, I didn't really find it until a little bit after all the other announcements came out and I clicked on it and I was beyond pleasantly surprised. It impressed the hell out of me. It's got like people floating around everywhere. It's got these red rooms that like distort reality, get all Inception on you. It just looks so cool. Control looks all kinds of bizarre and creepy and crazy and fun, all wrapped up into one weird game that we hardly know anything about yet. And the physics in this game, like the physics are holy shit. They have destructible environments. Almost everything is interactable, and they really showcased it at the end when they picked up the projector, and the projector still plays, and it's upside down, and then they whip it at a bookshelf, and the containers on the bookshelf and all the papers and the boxes, they all fall independently of each other instead of falling as one big unit. I am amazed with this game, both technically and like stylistically and story-wise. It looks like a descent into madness mixed with a little government conspiracy. I'm excited about it. I wonder how this will do because I think it's a PS4 exclusive, so Sony might have another top contender on their hands, like right next to like God of War or Spider-Man. They're killing it with the single player games. Number 7, Biomutant. I've had my sights on Biomutant for what feels like years now, just hungry and waiting for more news and information on it. I think at this E3 we might finally get some of that. It looks like so much fun. It's got zany humor, it's incredibly stylized, the characters look cool, the creatures look cool, and they got the fun narrator in it that's from the Stanley Parable, or sounds like he's from the Stanley Parable. Not only that, but like the world that they've created for it looks really cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic world, and it's all these spliced creatures living in it, and you can create your own little spliced little furball, and it looks so cool, and I want to know how the planet got that way. I don't even know if it is Earth. If it is Earth or that planet, whatever it is, how it got that way. We have seen gameplay on it before on 2 separate occasions actually, and each time they show it, there's like so many drastic improvements in between each of them. And I can't wait to see what they show off this time. I have a feeling that we're gonna get a gameplay, like another gameplay segment for this one, but I don't think it's gonna have a soon release date. I think it's still gonna be a 2020, maybe 21 release date, but I think we will actually get a final release date for this one. This is just one of those games that if it takes forever to come out, I'm fine with it. I really want them to kill it and actually like execute it well, and I want it to do well. Number 6, Outer Worlds.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, the frontier of space. Well, at least it was until the corporations bought it, branded it, and started selling it at ludicrously inflated prices.
Outer Worlds was easily a favorite of the Game Awards, and I think after the disaster of Fallout 76, people are kind of looking to this game as a beacon of hope. Space is yours to explore for a price. Everything's run down with brands, there's impossibly cool characters, the environments look super dynamic and rich, and the weapons they've shown off are so cool. It honestly looks like it's shaping up to be a new favorite for more than just me, for a lot of people. And the writing that they showed off in the gameplay showcase was hilarious, like actually hilarious. They didn't even have audio over top of the writing for it. They didn't have any dialogue or voice actors, and they were still making the crowd laugh after every 1 or 2 lines from the different characters. That's how funny, like that's how good the writing is for it. They also showed off that there's really no good or evil to this game. You can kind of go about the mission however you want to. They showed off in the showcase that when you go to a section where there's people acting, you could literally just sit there and murder everybody, and that's fine. You'll still get your reward for the quest, and then you can kill the guy who gave you the reward for the quest, and there's little to no repercussions. It's really like choose your own adventure at that point. This one was really tough because this is sitting out of my top 5, and just barely because I think this game is going to shape up to be something so cool. Number 5, Sword and Shield. Okay, so I have a confession. This game, if I get it, will be my first Pokemon in a decade. I haven't played since, I think, Fire Red and Leaf Green, or Ruby and I think it was Ruby and Sapphire. That was my last Pokemon game, and I don't even know what that was on. The Game Boy SP? Game Boy SP? Game Boy Advance? One of those two. But I am so excited to get back into it, finally on the Switch, and I know they're having a pre-E3 Direct, a 15-minute one, so I don't know how much they're going to be showing off exactly at E3, but nevertheless, I'm looking forward to it. I just don't know what they're going to be showcasing during that Direct. I really do hope that Pokemon gets some love during E3 as well, because this is going to be a huge release for them. Pokemon is always a huge release for them. I also hope that we get to see a bit more of the region that we're in. I forget the name of it, but it's like United Kingdom kind of styled, like it's like England, and possibly a look at the later evolutions for the starter Pokemon. Now you know I'm Grookey gang for life, man. Doesn't matter what his end evolution is. I'm with Grookey. have you seen that little bastard? He's cute as hell. It does look like they're including more RPG elements into this one, and I think that's what Pokemon needs right now. I think it needs an introduction into new mechanics from the formula. You can still have the Pokemon formula with the battles and the Elite Four, and eventually like moving your way up with the different towns and gym leaders. I just think it needs a little extra. It needs a boost, something new. I mean, there is a reason that I haven't played a Pokemon in a decade, and that's because it pretty much has been more or less the same thing. So here's to hoping they show off some more technical stuff more than just content. I do have a feeling that some of the million IPs that Pokemon has under their belt might get mentioned here, like Sleep and Masters. Who knows? Number 4, Cyberpunk 2077.
Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion, but it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going.
This will come as no surprise that this is in my top 5. It is in almost everyone's top 5. I think it's doing this game a disservice if it's not in your top 5. CD Projekt Red, the people behind Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, are working on this, and it feels like they've been working on it for years now since it got teased. And last year it was showcased at E3 with like a 55 minute gameplay, something like that, and they said that it was almost playable start to finish at that point. So I think we might get another look into the game, whether that's a gameplay trailer or an actual gameplay session that will show us all the polishing and furnishing that they've been doing since last year, setting it up for release, and we might just get an actual release date for this one. And I mean, what's not to love about this game? Like, the concept of cyberpunk in itself is already badass, and then this like huge dystopian world that's built around that, and knowing what Project Red can do after everything they've done with The Witcher, there's gonna be amazing characters, such a cool story, in-depth lore. There's gonna be so much to do. Like in The Witcher 3, playing it with the DLC is like hundreds of hours of content. The game is shaping up to be almost Game of the Year material, and hopefully we see it for a 2020 release. If you ask me, I think it's going to be a late, like really late 2020 release, if even a 21 release, because this game, it needs to have a good release. People have been anticipating this game for so long now, I don't think it can release unfinished. Please let us know when it's going to be dropping, Project Red. I need to prepare my wallet for how empty it's going to be after all of this. Number 3, Astral Chain.
ID code confirmed. Starting up. Core set. Engaging Advent protocol. Stabilize. Advent protocol complete. Change Legion.
This is exactly what I want to see from Nintendo. No more sequelitis, no more like 3s and 4s and 5s of games. I'm so happy to see them have a fully polished, independent IP that looks interesting. The world, the dynamic fighting that they're going on, RoboCop looking personas on leashes, everything looks amazing in this game. Not to mention, you get to be a cool ass detective too. We need to see more of this game at Nintendo's Direct. It is shaping up to be an amazing game, and we know almost nothing about it so far other than what it looks like and what the combat might be like. Nintendo, we need to see more of this. And it's directed by the dude who did Nier Automata. Dude, like, Nier Automata was a hidden gem for a while. And I really want this game to shine more in the spotlight for Nintendo. I want this game to be successful so bad. I know that the Marios and the Zeldas can be fun, but I think the Switch really needs to have some really cool independent games, just like Astral Chain, to be pushed out, and that's going to draw more people into the Switch. Astral Chain may just be the trendsetter that the Nintendo Switch needs to compete with the Xbox and the PS4, or whatever Xbox's project is going to be coming up. Number 2, The Evil Within 3. Okay, so this is my wild card. I know no one is anticipating this game but myself, but Bethesda, please, I love these games. I love the world they've created, the Resident Evil vibes, the creepy monsters, the twisted visuals, the chill that it puts down your spine. The Evil Within has mastered building an atmosphere where you never feel safe. You always feel hunted, you feel watched, and it feels so good for a narrative horror game. I swear I'm gonna make a video on these one day. There were worlds of improvement between 1 and 2, and there were so many unanswered questions left after 2, and sure, yeah, it could be seen as a somewhat fitting end to the series, but like answering all those questions in a third game would be the perfect finish. I'm not expecting gameplay or a release date. All I really want to see is just a confirmation that The Evil Within 3 is even a thing. We do know that Elder Scrolls is not being shown off this year, so that leaves a lot of room for Bethesda, and hopefully we can see a random announcement like this. The Evil Within is easily the most fun and the most entertainment I've had playing a scary game in a long time, and Bethesda, please let's just make it happen. Number 1, The Avengers Project.
That if you're different, you're dangerous. But I know the truth. The world will always need heroes.
I know so many other people are waiting to see anything for the long-awaited and long-rumored Avengers project that Square Enix is working on. It has been 2 years since the teaser trailer dropped. 2 years that we haven't seen anything or heard anything for this game. Square Enix is hosting their own panel, and while yes, I think a lot of it is going to be dedicated to the Final Fantasy VII remake or even a new Final Fantasy being released, this has to be a big player in there. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe concluding with Endgame recently, I think it would be the perfect window for Square Enix to finally announce what this project is. The crazy thing to think about is that this is only going to be the first game. Marvel and Square Enix have a multi-game agreement, so this is only going to be the first in a line of possibly Avengers or Marvel games. We have seen Marvel make an incredible comeback into the gaming universe with Spider-Man PS4 Ultimate Alliance coming back, and I think this is just going to be the icing on the cake for all of that. It really feels like that while Marvel made a cinematic universe, they're also going to create a gaming universe. I don't know if any of these games are going to tie into each other, but they're really creating a reputation for themselves. This one might just surpass PS4 Spidey though, and I know that's a tough one to pass, but it might just do it. It's got some serious hype behind it after 2 years of waiting with nothing. I think this would be the perfect thing for E3. Anyways, that is my top 10 list for this year's E3. Are they the biggest releases happening? Not by a long shot, but they are the ones that I am easily the most excited about. Let me know if there's a game that I didn't mention that you were looking out for. Let me know what you're looking out for in general at E3. I love having discussions around E3. There's so much going on and so much to talk about. It's great. So just go ahead and type your argument down there. If you aren't already subscribed, I make comedic gaming essays as well as just having gaming discussions like we're having right now. And if you want to see more of that, you got to hit that handy dandy subscription that'll let you see all of my new uploads. If you liked it or disliked it, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. It really does help me know what content you want to see from me. And as always, there's that little notification bell down there that will notify you every time this glorious mug is floating around on the internet somewhere. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video. Catch you later.